Hi guys. All right, so this is the All Signs weekly reading. If you're looking to get a private reading with me, I do link my email in the description box. With that being said, I do have something pretty major happening tomorrow morning, so things might be a little bit delayed. So just letting everybody know ahead of time. All right, so starting with Aries for the week, 5 cards. 5 cards for the week for Aries. Come on. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. All right. So far, Aries, knock on wood. This looks okay. This looks doable. On Monday, it does look like you could be looking at new opportunities for growth and abundance. Maybe you're getting a pay raise. Maybe you found another job. Maybe you're moving up in the company. Maybe you had an investment and it took off. Monday looks fantastic for you. On Tuesday, you could be hearing from somebody about how they regret over something they said or how they treated you. This is a painful experience to them, whether you believe it or not. They are kind of going through it. Do I think they're sincere? Yes, but we know that people typically make the same mistakes more than once, so just keep that in mind. On Wednesday, you're overthinking a situation. You're waiting on a timing thing. Probably in your best interest, because we are in Mercury retrograde and everything's going to kind of slow down. You know, we don't need to be making any big major changes right now or making major decisions. So I think that you're just kind of doing a lot of self-care, okay? Trying to figure out what you want later on. On Thursday, you could be walking away from somebody after an argument, especially if you're in some sort of commitment with somebody. I do see you guys working it out in time, but Thursday could be kind of like dramatic. And on Friday, somebody's going to be contacting you and letting you know that they do think that you're the 10 of Cups. Does not have to be romantic. I know I say that constantly, but they don't want to be judged for any sort of behavior that they've been presenting to you. So that's going to be like the balls in your court with that one, okay? Moving on to Taurus, 5 cards for Taurus. Taurus, I'm getting nervous with your reading. Weird. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Ooh, yeah, anxious and nervous about something this week. On Monday, you could be helping somebody out emotionally and or they're helping you out emotionally. It looks like a pretty decent day. You are waiting on something. Again, I'm seeing delays. So don't panic. Don't panic too much, right? On Tuesday, you could have some buyer's remorse. Be careful. If that's not the case, you could be disappointed around something around your finances and or work. On Wednesday, you are putting some finances away. Maybe you're now in panic mode when it comes to your finance. So it looks like, you know, whatever I needed, whatever I need to get for myself, whatever, you know, I'm just going to put this aside. I'm going to protect everything that I have, and I'm going to manifest that I make more, you know, or I get presented with more. On Thursday, it does look like you have some decisions to make. You need to drop a heavy burden, again, around your finances. Your finances are pretty much what's going on this week for you, okay? And you could be even considering and or talking to somebody about travel plans in the future. On Friday, you're seeking justice. Now, this is going to be very specific for some Taurus out there. This justice could be something to do with your home. So let's say, sorry, let's say you had a builder there and they screwed up. There's your justice. They're going to have to pay you something or fix it, whatever the case, okay? But I see you being disappointed, but again, you do get some sort of justice. It doesn't have to be what I just said, but that came to mind. So for somebody out there, that's what that is. Moving on to Gemini. 5 cards for Gemini for the week. Gemini, I'm getting very tired for you, so you might be really tired this week. And I can hear you fighting with somebody. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on Monday, we have some healing vibes. We have some good things happening. You're working towards some sort of goal. Doesn't have to be financial, but for some of you it will be. And you are going to attain that goal. On Tuesday, you're manifesting hearing from somebody, and you're disappointed when you don't. Now, this could be a new job opportunity. It could be somebody that you care about. Doesn't matter. You're just going to be disappointed. On Wednesday, you could be keeping tabs on someone, or someone's keeping tabs on you. Especially if you're single, somebody from the past could be watching you. But if you're not single, I guess this still could be somebody from the past keeping an eye on you. Really about being nosy, okay? On Thursday, we are seeking stability. You're waiting on divine timing for a situation. You will be hearing from somebody from the past, and it doesn't look like you're happy about it. On Friday, there's some regret about an argument you have with somebody, and now you kind of want to fix it, or they want to fix it. This is going to probably have some sort of resolve. However, the damage is done. So even if you guys resolve it, I think it's something that could pop up again at any time where you guys would fight once again over it, okay? Moving on to Cancer. 5 cards for Cancer for the week, Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on Monday, you're feeling left out of a situation. Kind of aggravated with somebody. Could be a financial situation. Could be, for most of you, it'll be financial. But it does look like you're dealing with a bunch of people on Monday you don't really want to deal with, okay? Feeling kind of used or left behind in some sort of way. On Tuesday, you're walking towards something that will drop a heavy burden for you. You are going to be working harder this week than normal, and I do think that's going to open up new possibilities for you. On Wednesday, we have some anxiety and hostility. You feel like somebody could be betraying you. They are, especially if they're an earth sign. And on Thursday, oh boy, there could be something pretty crazy happening on Thursday. It could be anything from meeting somebody and just really connecting with them, or being in a relationship and trying to take it to the next level. Just being really ready for some sort of stable relationship. And on Friday, be careful about overspending. Be careful about overspending. There's something here you want to do for somebody, and finances are going to play a part, so just be careful. Moving on to Leo. 5 cards for Leo. Sorry, guys. This chair is wobbly. Five cards for Leo. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, you could be spending time with somebody you care about. Lots of conversation. This could be a new person even. Looks very good. On Tuesday, oh my God. For those of you that are involved, like heavily involved, you guys could be like talking about marriage, getting married, getting engaged, moving in together. It looks pretty wild. Somebody's not going to like it. You have somebody else that is not going to like it. On Wednesday, there's some anxiety and hostility. Again, somebody doesn't like your connection with whoever this is. You're still moving forward with it. By Thursday, there could be an argument over finances, whether this is at work and or at home, but I do see some sort of argument. And for those of you that have been looking for like a new opportunity, or like put your resume in somewhere, something like that, it does look like you're going to be disappointed. On Friday, somebody will be inviting you out and about for the weekend. And could even be a group activity. It looks really good. Moving on to Virgo. 5 cards for the weekend. Somebody's getting their driveway paved. Did I say weekend or week? I don't know what I said. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on Monday, you could be getting a new business opportunity. If you are retired, this could just be a new opportunity in general to do something that you really like, something that will bring you a lot of success. On Tuesday, you have a wish fulfillment coming your way. This is going to be very exciting. It looks like you're going to reach out to somebody and let them know what's going on. On Wednesday, you are breaking free from some sort of energetic attachment that you've had for a while. Your finances look fantastic. On Thursday, you're dropping a heavy burden, especially when it comes to something financial. And you're feeling really free this week. You're feeling really good. You're feeling like you're on track with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And on Friday, you're going to have to make some decisions. Make sure you base those decisions off of care and empathy and sympathy versus something exciting and passionate and, you know, unpredictable. Moving on to Libra. 5 cards for Libra for the week. Monday through Friday. I'm seeing somebody staring at themselves in the mirror. It's almost like you don't recognize yourself at the moment. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on Monday, I'm seeing a lot of financial success. If you're looking for work, if you're looking to move up in a company, if you're changing companies, whatever, I see financial success. On Tuesday, you're holding on to some sort of hope for something new and exciting, new opportunities. They will be delayed and or canceled at the beginning of the week. On Wednesday, you have anxiety about that. You're thinking you made a bad judgment call. You're just looking for stability. And in divine timing, if you give it a minute, you'll have it. On Thursday, you're feeling kind of anxious because it does look like somebody's trying to reconcile with you. You guys could have that conversation, but ultimately it's a really bad idea. And on Friday, you could be sending messages and or spending time with it. It looks like a water sign, doesn't have to be. And sort of like venting or planning something. Moving on to Scorpio. 5 cards for Scorpio for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, Scorpio, you are invested in something on Monday. You want to drop a heavy burden. You want to work towards some sort of goal, else alone or with somebody, but ultimately you will have the opportunity to do so. On Tuesday, you might be feeling left out of a passionate situation. Does not have to be romantic. You could just be feeling like someone's disengaging, okay? On Wednesday, you're kind of, else you're dealing with a Pisces or you're dipping into your own spirituality, using it as a tool so that you can move successfully through something, okay? And you will be feeling really good about yourself on Wednesday too. On Thursday, you're moving forward. You could be invited somewhere and you don't end up going. And if you do end up going, you would end up in an argument. Move forward alone on Thursday, okay? That stability and that need that you have on Thursday is going to come in divine timing. And on Friday, you could be getting into anything from a business partnership to a long-term relationship, marriage, engagement, moving in together, whatever the case, okay? But it looks very positive. For Sagittarius, 5 cards for Sagittarius for the week, Monday through Friday. I'm seeing a medical situation pop up. Oh my God, that's so weird. I know why. That was for me, guys. That was for me. My mom's a Sag, and she's in surgery right now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, you feel a connection is coming to some sort of ending. You're feeling like not just a disconnect, but you're feeling like energy is now dissipating, and major changes will be coming your way. Now, there is a chance you resolve this and move forward, and then there's a chance that you just walk away. On Tuesday, you're trying to move forward, could be spending time with some people that you care about, and it turns into an aggressive sort of situation, and then you just walk. On Wednesday, you have a lot of decisions to make for your stability, and in divine timing, the ball's in your court, okay? Whatever you end up choosing to do, you're going to have to take responsibility for whatever happens, okay? And on Thursday, you could be else reconciling with somebody and or meeting a soulmate, okay? Somebody who's very spiritual, messages going back and forth about love, care, commitment, whatever. And on Friday, you are digging your heels in the ground on Friday. You're expecting some sort of justice from somebody who's been hiding something from you. And ultimately, you will get it. But it says here, make sure that when your 10 of Cups is coming in, and it doesn't mean it's going to be this week, but make sure you don't take it for granted. And again, this can always be reversed, okay? For Capricorn, 5 cards for Capricorn for the week, Monday through Friday. Capricorn, my eyes are burning a little bit and my head feels warm, so you may come down with something minor. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're in the upright on Monday, going through some sort of major changes. Oof, these changes are going to bring success to you, okay? Especially financial success if you work or have some sort of investment. On Tuesday, you might be feeling a little unstable health-wise. Again, I think it's a health issue. Some of you are upside down with a bill, but for the majority of you, you might be staying home and just taking care of yourself. On Wednesday, something will be illuminated. You may feel like the wounded warrior, but it's making space for your 10 of Cups. So whatever doesn't work out, just know like it's divinely guided. On Thursday, somebody's going to try to reconcile with you. There's a lot of anger and resentment there. I really wouldn't do it. It'll cause you a tower moment. On Friday, you are disengaging. Yep. You're putting more focus on yourself. You could be considering a move and or travel plans, but you are definitely giving up anybody that doesn't serve you by Friday. Moving on to Aquarius. 5 cards for Aquarius for the week. I'm a little bit winded for you, Aquarius. Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You may have travel plans on Monday or just be preparing for some sort of travel plans. Finances look pretty stable. On Tuesday, somebody's going to make some sort of offering to you. I don't see you going through with it, whether it's a new job opportunity, going to get drinks, somebody wanting to move in together, whatever. You're just like not having it on Tuesday. And you are kind of like going through something very nostalgic. On Wednesday, you are protecting your peace. Again, I see somebody trying to make some sort of plans and or a commitment with you, and you just going, this is not the time, I'm sorry. Which you're right, it's Mercury retrograde. It is not the time. On Thursday, you're waiting on some sort of justice, especially when it comes to a financial matter, and you will be getting it. Somebody will be really pissed about it. And on Friday, watch out for somebody who's pulling as the devil, trying to come back into your life. They are still trying to deceive you. They're still manipulative, and they're going to pretend that they went through some sort of healing phase. And for Pisces, 5 cards for Pisces for the week, Monday through Friday. Come on. I'm hearing Pete. I don't know what that's about. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. On Monday, you're feeling kind of unbalanced, okay? You're waiting on a judgment call for stability. Make sure you're doing a lot of self-care. There is somebody here who does not mean well or does not, they could be giving you the evil eye. They could be just, you know, they just don't like you in general. You'll see growth from that because karma's a funny thing. Can't just be hating on somebody for no reason. On Tuesday, you're holding on to a little bit of hope. Somebody may try to reconcile with you. I don't see that happening because you're dealing with way too many things at once, and that's just going to be overwhelming to you. On Wednesday, you're looking at new opportunities and options. You will be hearing from somebody you care about or somebody who cares about you. It's saying here you're kind of guarding your energy. You might still have the conversation, but you're not ready to engage with this, okay? On Thursday, you could be getting emotional support from somebody. They're pulling as a fire sign, doesn't have to be. And your finances looking really, really good by Thursday. On Friday, you have some decisions to make. You may be reaching out to somebody that you trust, believe in, care about in order to help you look at new opportunities. And ultimately, moving forward, somebody will be paying you back or giving you something back that they owe you. All right, guys. So that's that. That's the week. Didn't look quite as bad as I was thinking it might. And I will see you guys tomorrow.